So welcome everybody. Um, After reading extensively on this subject and listening to some audiobooks, about 10 hours worth of audiobooks, I kind of shifted through the muck and wanted to explain what some of the things are that psychopaths look for in a victim. And for those of you who have experienced victimhood, and for those of you who have experienced other people being victims and want to impart some knowledge about psychopaths and who they are and what they do and how to protect yourself against them, this is the workshop for you. So we're going to go. What is a psychopath? We've got somebody coming in. So, what is a psychopath? Basically, a psychopath is it's a type of personality disorder, and basically, it is characterized as somebody who has antisocial behavior. Now, whether or not a person is a psychopath or antisocial is a different story, and most times people who are psychopaths are antisocial. But antisocial has more to do with behavior than it does with personality. So a psychopath has a certain personality trait, well, certain personality traits that make them more psychopathic than not. And there's a psychopath inventory test of about 180 questions that covers whether or not somebody could be a psychopath. I gave, I think, a 20 question quiz that was a caricature of all those 180 questions. And I posted that in the Facebook event. So if you want to take that, you can see how psychopathic you are. But the thing is, with these traits, it's really indicative of how much empathy and remorse this person has, how egotistical this person is, how bold and fearless this person is. So there are some qualities. Oh, we got some more people coming in. There are some qualities of a. Let's just gonna. There are some qualities of a psychopath that, and there's the quiz right there if you want to take it. That are really amazing. You know, some qualities to psychopaths that they kind of seem like they're invincible. They kind of seem fearless, and they're the one who will go into the middle of the fire and rescue somebody because they're very goal oriented. They almost have no emotional affect when it comes to pain. They'll go right into the midst of it, and they'll be the type of person that will be in the middle of committing a crime and they'll feel nothing, no remorse, no guilt, no fear. Now imagine if you were a person and you had none of those lower end emotions and you just experienced satisfaction and the highs and you didn't experience fear or vulnerability or any of these other things. That could be a positive. And so The Wisdom of Psychopaths, which is the book that a lot of this information is coming from, talks about how wise psychopaths are in terms of they are so goal-oriented, they are so fearless. What do they have to say about victims, and what makes them such good good specimens for this understanding of how to detect victims, and how are they better at detecting victimhood than people who aren't psychopathic? So what makes somebody a psychopath? They're very socially irresponsible. They don't give a damn about social trends, status quo. They don't care about that. They just want their needs met, and whatever their goal in mind is, they're going to go as far and beyond everyone else to reach it. Um, they are okay with disregarding, violating rights. They have an inability to distinguish between right and wrong. So we're going to go into it a little bit later, but there's two parts of the brain that have to do with understanding something ethically, and we're gonna go over that. But there's the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, and there is a difference in functioning level between somebody who is psychopathic and somebody who isn't. This person will think of something that is, they'll think something is morally right when it's actually a horrendous crime. Okay, so there's some confusion about right and wrong. They have a tendency to lie. They're really great at manipulating. They'll tell you anything that you want to hear in order to get what they want and to get to their goal. And they have recurring problems with the law. They have a general disregard towards the safety and responsibility. Um, and more men are diagnosed with this than women. And like I had said before, psychopathy is a core set of personality traits, whereas antisocial personality disorder really focuses in on behavior. So people can really be considered antisocial once with this antisocial personality disorder once they're 18 and they have this trend of behavioral issues that keep going on and on and on. Now, is the person acting out of insecurity, or does this person acting out of absolutely no sense of insecurity, complete confidence, and they're just going for the kill? So this is out there, and if we were to say that this didn't exist, we'd be completely naive. This is a chronic condition. It does get better with age, and I would say that as people get older, their hormones change, their bodies change, progesterone gets released in males, and they start to mellow out and be a little bit more compassionate to others. So there's a little bit of a trend where this disorder, this personality disorder, does decline with age. So mortality rates are higher. Mortality rates are higher in people with this. No, they're not moral at all, because they're engaging in very highly risk behavior. So if you want to understand what a psychopath is, I could tell you a little bit of a metaphorical story. And the story is about a scorpion, okay? So once there was a scorpion and it wanted to get to the other side of the lake. And in order to get to the other side of the lake, he said to a frog, if I jump on your back, maybe you can help me out and I can get to the other side of the lake or the river or whatever it was. And then the frog says, no, I wouldn't put you on my back. It's in your nature to sting. Why would I do that? And then he basically says, I promise I won't. I'm not going to do it. Don't worry about it. And then they get to halfway towards the end of the lake, and the scorpion stings the frog after it gets on its back, and they both start to sink. And the frog is like, you idiot, you're going to sink too. And then the scorpion says, no, you know what? You said it yourself. It's in my nature to sting. So just completely unfazed. And you can see how mortality rates are joined with this disorder, because they just don't care about dying. They don't care about other people dying. They're very impulsive. They're in the moment. They want what they want. They want it now. So how many psychopaths are there in the world? There's a lot, although the percentage of people that actually are psychopaths is very small. So 1% of the population is psychopathic. And let me just put this down. So 1% of them of people in the population are psychopathic, and 25% of people in prison are psychopathic. So this population takes up most of who's committing the crimes, and they commit 50% of the crimes. So you have 25% of the prison population psychopathic, and they're committing 50% of the crimes. And not only that, once they get released, they're 3 times more likely to recommit. And while they're in jail, they're 5 times more likely to beat up, rape, and kill other people who are in jail. So you never want to be in a cell. Hopefully that never happens to anybody in here with a psychopath. All right, let's go to the next one. How do psychopaths solve moral dilemmas? All right. So there was a neuroscientist who came up with this cognitive neuroscience case. Okay, and the first case was, and this was basically based on cool empathy. And cool empathy involves, when you make this decision about this, your orbital frontal cortex is going to be stimulated. So the dilemma was, if you have a lever that you can pull, and you pull that lever so that the train can divert from killing 5 people to only killing 1 person. So you have a lever that could change the course of a train, killing people so it kills less people. Would you pull that lever? And most people, including psychopaths, would say that they would. Now, this is the moral dilemma. If there was a, a large man in the way of you viewing this train that's going towards 5 people to kill, would you push the large man into the train tracks so that he could prevent the train from killing the 5 people? And psychopaths would have no issue. This is called hot empathy. This is involving the amygdala, where you actually have to do the work, hands on, killing somebody to save somebody else, not just pressing a lever or pulling a lever. You have to actually go and kill somebody. Psychopaths would have no issue, and they believe that it would be moral to kill one person and save 5. Whereas most people would say, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. I would never put my hands on somebody and put them in the tracks. That's insane. Why would I do that? And this